Good morning to all the students. Welcome to the physics class. Students, our today's topic is system of particle and rotational motion. This is your 7th chapter. In this, we have first topic is particle. A particle is defined as an object whose mass is finite but whose size and internal structure can be neglected. तो ऐसा पार्टिकल, ऐसा ऑब्जेक्ट जिसका मास तो है बट जिसका साइज और उसकी जो इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर है वो हम निगलेक्ट कर सकते हैं. दैट इज कॉल्ड द पार्टिकल. सिस्टम इज ए कलेक्शन ऑफ नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल्स. अगर नंबर ऑफ पार्टिकल्स को हम इकट्ठा कर दें देन दैट इज कॉल्ड द सिस्टम. इंटरनल फोर्सेस. व्हाट आर द इंटरनल फोर्सेस? These are the mutual forces exerted by the particles of a system on one another. तो जैसे सिस्टम है, सिस्टम में कई सारे पार्टिकल्स होंगे तो वो एक दूसरे के ऊपर फोर्स लगाएंगे. दैट आर कॉल्ड द इंटरनल फोर्सेस. एंड व्हाट आर द एक्सटर्नल फोर्सेस? These are the outside forces exerted on an object. Next is the center of mass. So basically, what is center of mass? Center of mass of a body is a point where whole mass of the body is supposed to be concentrated. So this is a point where whole mass of the body is concentrated. That point is called center of mass. This is a single point which moves in the same way in which a body, a system of particle moves, and the total mass of the system. These are some center of masses examples. Here you can see that this body has its center of mass at this place as shown in the figure. So these points are showing the center of masses of these objects. Center of mass and center of gravity. The center of mass, as we discussed, that this is a point where whole mass is supposed to be concentrated. But the center of gravity, on the other hand, is a point at which the resultant of the gravitational force on all the particle of the body acts. So basically, center of gravity is the resultant of gravitational force. Okay, so remember this. This is the difference between the center of mass and the center of gravity. Next is rigid bodies. What are the rigid bodies? These are the bodies which does not undergo any change in its size. Whatever the external force you apply, there will be no change in its size and its shape. So that body is called rigid body. But in actual, we cannot have a rigid body. This is a theoretical body. Next is the center of mass of a rigid body. The center of mass of a rigid body is a point at a fixed position with respect to the body as a whole. So this is a point. Center of mass of a rigid body is a point at a fixed position with the respect to the whole body. Next, center of mass of a regular body. For bodies having regular geometrical shape and uniform mass distribution, the center of mass lies at their geometrical center. So, if we talk about these shapes, then they will have the center of mass at their symmetrical center. So, as you can see here, these figures, the center of mass of thin rod is at its symmetrical center, and for ring we can also see the center of mass is at center. Here in disk is also it is at center. So in all the figures you can see that the center of mass is at the center. Next we have rotational motion of a rigid body. Basically a body is said to possess rotational motion if all its particles move along circles in parallel planes. So the center of these circles lie on a fixed line perpendicular to the parallel planes, and this line is called axis of rotation. So as you can see in the diagram here, the rigid body, this is the rigid body, and it is rotating, and its center of rotation is O, and all the particles of this body will move parallel in a circle. This line, that is Z, this is the Z axis, because the body is lying in Y axis, okay, and this is the Z axis which is perpendicular to the Y axis. This Z axis represent the axis of rotation. Next we have movement of force. So what is movement of force or torque? To open a door, we apply a force on its handle. The door turns on its hinges. The larger the force, the more is it turn. So students, जैसे इसमें बताया हुआ है that जैसे हम किसी डोर को ओपन करने के लिए फोर्स लगाते हैं हैंडल के ऊपर, और जितना ज़्यादा फोर्स हम लगाएंगे उतना ही ज़्यादा उसके ऊपर टर्निंग इफेक्ट आएगा. So this turning effect of force is called the moment of force or torque. तो ये किसके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है? One is magnitude and second is perpendicular distance of the line of action of the force from the axis of rotation. If we see the diagram here, that if this is the force, applied force, and this is the body, and this is the distance r. So if we increase the distance r, then obviously the effect will be increased. Next is the torque or moment of force. So torque or moment of force is basically the turning effect, as we have studied about the axis of rotation. It is measured as the product of magnitude of force and the perpendicular distance. So we can see here in the diagram, this is the axis of rotation, this is the applied force, and this is the perpendicular distance d. Now students, here torque will be equal to force into this perpendicular distance. So tau will be equal to F into d, and we can have the formula for the torque. And what are the dimensions of the torque? It is ml to t minus 2. And what are the units of torque? It is SI unit is Newton meter and CGS unit is dyne centimeter. Next we have torque, work done by a torque. So basically we know that work done. If we apply force here on this body, then there will be small displacement. So angular displacement is denoted by delta theta. So we can now calculate the work done. So work done will be equal to, we know that work done is equal to force into displacement. Now students, here the displacement which is done by the force can be calculated by the formula, that is this this theta will be equal to arc upon radius. So here we have the formula arc upon the radius delta theta will be equal to arc PQ upon में r. So arc PQ will be equal to r delta theta. So we got the formula for work done, that is Fr delta theta and tau into delta theta. This is the work done by a torque. So work done by a torque can be calculated by multiplying torque into angular displacement. In case of torque is not constant, it is a variable quantity, then we can use this formula, that is calculus method. By integrating the small work done, we can calculate the total work done. So our next topic is angular momentum. As we have studied about the momentum, what was the momentum? We have studied that the momentum is basically the product of mass and velocity. Now students, next we have the angular momentum. Basically the angular momentum of a particle rotating about an axis is defined as the product of linear momentum and the perpendicular distance from the axis of rotation. So we can calculate the angular momentum by multiplying this. So it will be equal to, it is denoted by L. Okay, angular momentum is denoted by L, and we have studied that linear momentum is denoted by P, small p. So LPD, D is the perpendicular distance. So students, what are the dimensions? Dimensions are ml2 t minus 1, and SI units are the kilogram meter square second inverse and CGS units are the gram centimeter square second inverse. Next we have angular momentum of a particle. If we want to calculate the angular momentum, here you can see here that a particle or a system of particle, we can see particle P is moving, rotating about an axis O in the xy plane. As you can see here, this is the xy plane. So students, it has linear momentum P. So this angle makes angle theta with the position vector OP. The angular momentum L of the particle about the origin O is defined as the vector product of R and P. So we can calculate this Rp sin theta. So angular momentum is the momentum of movement of linear momentum and its measure of turning motion of the object.